Coach, whenever you're ready.
First of all, congratulations to App State. They came in here. We knew they were a good football team. They played like it. They played like an experienced group of guys. Did a really nice job in the game and did the things they had to do to be successful. We did not execute and play at the level we needed to, and that's my fault. That's as a head football coach. That's your job to have your guys ready to play and put them in position to make plays and let them to do it. So at the end of the day, that's on us. And I thought our players, there was nobody tried to make a mistake today. Nobody was trying to do it on purpose. But we got to do a better job of coaching them, get the fundamentals right, and do that. But that's coaching on our part, and that's what we have to do as a staff. And all the things we have to do, evaluate what we're doing and make sure we're doing it. We had chances to make plays all day on both sides of the ball. Offensively, unacceptable. Scored 7 points on the day. Come out in the first drive, hit a nice play, then get a penalty right behind your 1st and 15. Sets right back on, right, get another one, almost get a drive. Then the second drive, we get a 3rd and 5, have a chance to get a guy open, get pressure. Guy reaches around, gets a hold of the quarterback, knocks the hands out, which still, I don't care. There's no other reason to fumble. Got to hold it, but we got to protect it better. Then we got a very nice drive. We drive right down, score, hit the plays because they went down and scored off of that turnover. And we had that thing recovered. We just got to lay on it. But then, but that's a natural thing to try to want to do that. That's very natural to do that. And then we have a nice drive. Go back, tie the game, 7-7, have a nice drive, run it, throw it, make some scrambles, do the things we need to do. And then we come back, defense get a stop. We got it in good field position, got a nice play, and we just don't protect. Have a chance to throw a deep ball, don't protect at the end of it, and don't get that in. And then come back in second half and a 2-minute drive, get them stopped down there again. Don't run a bubble screen, a bubble play that we have right there, and for some reason get behind the 8 ball. Then it's half 7-7. Do a great still. Played a bad half, come out 7-7. Have to execute, get it halftime. Defensively, we gave up some not many third downs, but they kept the ball, kept pounding the ball, eating clock, keeping drives away from us. Second drive, we'll come out, get a great. Throw what we had on 3rd and 2. Know what we got. We just don't execute a play that we need to execute, and have a great opportunity to make a big play, a real big play. Then get a stop. Then defense. Then we driving. And we have a fumble. Then we turn it over, have a nice drive. We're about to the 40, 45-yard line, moving the ball. Hit a couple first downs just like we did the first drive of the half. Fumble. They drive down and score. We give up, they ate the clock as they went and give up some critical 3rd and longs in that one and what we did. And then we hit a kickoff return. Chain makes a phenomenal run. And, that guy getting him the ball as much as we can. He makes a great run. Then defensively, we come back. They take I don't know how long it was.
16 plays.
16 plays. And
Yes,
take it all the way down, eat clock, and do a good job all the way down to 7 minutes because they started in the 3rd quarter and made 3rd downs and things. We got to get off the field and kick the field goal. Then we had a nice drive and get it going all the way back down. And then we have a chance to make the 2 throws. One we were a little short, and the other one were high. And but had a nice run, got us down there, and then we missed a field goal. And then they ran out the clock and ended the game. And what we did, we only had the ball 3 times, and did it. But at the end of the day, that's my fault as a head football coach. You got to have guys ready in all 3 phases. We had opportunities in all 3 phases to make difference. We had 2 turnovers. They had none. Was critical in the game. They were able to eat clock. Had the ball. 40 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Is it 40? I can't tell. I can't. I didn't.
Right at it.
Right at it.
Yes, sir.
And we got to get the ball back. But part of that too is we got to get off the field on defense. But you got to keep it on offense when you got it. So. We'll look at it and go. Just got to evaluate what we're doing, make sure, had opportunities, but got to coach it better. That's on me.
Second row on the right and then front row on the left.
I know much of it is on the offensive line, but do you give another quarterback a shot moving
Possibly.
forward?
We'll evaluate everything. We'll evaluate everything. It's not just on the offensive line, guys. We had we had some mistakes up front, but we had some mistakes out wide. We had mistakes at tight. Everybody kind of took a turn. You know what I'm saying? And when all of a sudden you only have 8 possessions, that can happen. And we'll evaluate everything we do, Brent, seriously. We'll look at everybody and what goes on, and whatever we have to do to be successful, we'll do.
Down front left, Zach.
Jimbo, after a game like that, what is the message to the team? Right
now is the time to come together. Right now is the time to go back to fundamentals, believe in each other. There's a lot of football left. There's a lot of seasons have been together, and just because you lost 1 game, you got to put it behind you. You can't let 1 become 2. And you lock into what you have. You go back to your fundamentals. You trust in each other. You circle the wagons about how you work, how you practice, and every detail matters. And hopefully that we can understand that, and we make sure we do a better job coaching. And we go play the rest of the season and have a really good season. That's what we got. That's what we got to do right now.
Front right.
What changed from this week to last week in your defensive front and the ability to stop the run? Because it seemed like that's what was churning the clock.
It was, and it wasn't big chunks. It was just a constant 3 to 5, 4, 6, you know what I mean? And then pull a boot or a naked on 3rd down. They did a really good job running the football on 3rd and longs. They popped some first downs that were change-ups and rush, and they did it. They're experienced. They have a good line. Their line, I believe, was a finalist for the Joe Moore Award a year ago, if I'm not mistaken. I
I think that's
that
right,
was
Coach.
right.
Yes.
They had a bunch of fourth, fifth year guys. They did a good job blocking them. I mean, and it wasn't like they broke runs all over the field, but they just constantly ate clock and were able to do that, and they did a really nice job. Well, we'll look at the film. We didn't add any other stunts, blitzes, or any other fronts or things that do that to those formations. We'll evaluate that. We'll have to look exactly what they did.
Second row on the left.
Jimbo, did you get the feeling there that when Appalachian State was able to put together that long 10-minute drive that your defense had just gotten gas? That's why.
Well, I mean, they got tired there, but we had a chance offensively to come back. We had the ball on the 35-yard line, and we have no run, and then we have a high throw. Got a high throw. I got to look at the route, what happened, what on it, and looked like we could have got the ball to Nice, which I wish we could have got it to him more in the game, him and Shane and all those guys. And then on the third down, we had a little pressure, and he backed up, and he had the crossing route. He made the right read. It was his third read on the play. And if we could have got it up, he was going to run for a long ways because we had gotten through the coverage and got over there. Got to get that ball up. I mean, they had gotten tired, but the game was. I mean, after that, it was over. And we had a chance offensively to respond right back, and we had a chance to hit a field goal. And we didn't make it.
You referenced a third down where y'all, I think it was 3rd and 1, and y'all ran and you went to the bubble screen. You said that.
Well, they put 9 guys in the box. Okay. We knew they were going 0, and we had soft, and we had worked that. It was about 3rd 1.5, almost 2. It was a longer deal, and we had check. We had 2 plays ran inside, and they had every gap. And I asked the chain was there. He said no. And we had exactly what we wanted outside. We just didn't execute it. We had to get a little crack block there with that bubble, and we had a chance to be a really good play and 0. And that's a chance they take when they go 0 like that. It's either feast or famine. We just didn't execute what we were doing. That's my fault. We got to get it across to our players better and do a better job. It's my fault.
Front right.
Jimbo, there was a couple of careless defensive penalties, but the one that was on Antonio Johnson for the pass interference, did you think that was a pass interference call? Or?
Well, no, they always tell me, and I couldn't see if your arm's around, but if you don't turn or pull, you know what I'm saying? I think we had 7 penalties in the game. 5 were on defense, which is rare. We had 2 on offense. We had both of them were motion penalty. We didn't get the ball snapped. The center didn't hear the snap or whatever and just didn't snap it. I think it was twice. But I didn't see the guy get turned. I'll have to reevaluate it on film. I thought it was a tough call, really tough call in a critical situation. And just like the other, I guess the face mask were, I can't see that. I have to look at the film. I'm not sure them guys were trying to call it that way. But I didn't see him turn him. That's what they always say when you pull when that shoulder turns. And didn't see it, but hey, they called it, and it was a penalty.
And then with the depth of the offensive line, is there any chance that maybe you just shift some players who maybe are out of position just to maybe see if you get a little bit more consistency?
Well, we can, and hopefully we'll get Bryce back this week. He should be back. Gives us another body with some experience to play and get some guys in going what we're doing.
Coach will go back behind the lights to the left.
Right here, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Obviously, talking about those penalties, it seemed like Appalachian State kind of got bailed out on a couple of those, especially in the first half. How do you go about correcting that next week?
That's discipline and fundamentals. That goes back to how we did the discipline to do the right techniques. I always say alignment, assignment, technique, and being in the right place. And generally, when you get penalties, whether you hold, grab, or do something, it's because your body, you've gotten your body out of position and you're extending and pulling, and that's kind of what happens. And we got to do a better job of technique, and that's us on us as coaches to get our guys to understand how to do that.
We'll stay back behind the lights, Daryl.
Coach, any thought there in the second half, having not even thrown for 100 yards, of maybe giving Max or Connor a chance?
Well, we were, but we never had the ball. The first drive, we're complete. If we make the block, we're in great shape. And the second, we hit both passes and fumble. There was nothing there to – we're driving on the second drive and we fumble. Then the third drive, we missed overthrow a post to Harris, and we hit a couple plays to get down there. That was the only time we had it. I would have, if we thought it would have went, if we'd got some more possessions, maybe so, but there hadn't been anything there. You missed the opening throw of the second half on a slant route, but we overcame that, got the first down and moved back up, and it was over. But at the same time, the quarterbacks, like coaches, we take all the glory and all the blame, and that goes with us. But we got to play better around him. But he has to play better too. There's no doubt. And what he had some opportunities to make some plays. What was he on today? 13 or 20, but again, that goes back, like you say, you cannot do anything bad. You can't do anything good. You know what I'm saying? We got had a chance to make a couple plays. Had a post route. We overthrew by about a step late in that third drive, and then the other 2 little plays right there. So we'll evaluate what we have to do and do what we have to do.
We'll stay.
But it's not entirely. We got to do like the first play of that drive. We got a nice running play going on the edge, and somebody comes free inside. It's a conglomerate of things. We just got to get cleaned up. That's on me.
Coach, it seemed like there were a couple drives back
Yes,
here,
sir.
Coach. A couple drives, one I think in the first quarter, and then the other one kind of right before the roughing the passer. Offense seemed a little discombobulated in the pre-snap. Was there anything you were noticing, or guys?
No. We weren't. First drive, the second half, we were there. We just didn't make a block. And the second one, we hit and just didn't fumble. Sometimes the receivers can't see signals from the sideline, just making sure they're trying to get the formation signals from where they're at on the sideline. But other than that, I mean, guys, we didn't have delay of games. We didn't have to call timeouts. We didn't have to. I used one late there because I wanted to make sure what we were doing, make sure the guys understood the situation because I thought we had that drive to win the game right there. But, I mean, there was none of that. Everybody was on the same page communicating.
Fourth row on the right.
Jordan up with the battalion. Can you speak a little bit on Devon Achane's ability to break the game with his speed?
Yeah, he was, and we got to keep getting the ball. I mean, he had 10 for 68 on offense, and he broke a tackle right there and hit a kickoff return, which was amazing. And he's a very unique player, and we got to keep finding ways to get him in space and get him the ball, get the running game going.
Got time for two more, Travis and Olin.
I think is that right? We had 38 plays.
I believe that's right, Coach.
Wow, not very many.
Coach, do you feel after a loss like this, do you feel like is there ever a fear that you might lose some buy-in or have to work harder to get refocused?
I don't think so. I mean, listen, nothing's ever as good as it seems, nothing's ever as bad as it seems, but it's about what you make of it. And if that's the case, then we were never bought in the first place. You talk to guys in the huddle, they got it in their locker room. We had a good talk with them, and they understand that. We're not blaming them. It's on us to get them ready to play and put them in position to do it. And I don't fear that. I really don't. I mean, you always, as a coach, you're always trying to make sure guys understand what you want, but I think we had a good group of guys and good locker room.
Olin, you'll finish this up. We've got the players ready.
Jimbo, you've said before that you felt like y'all were on pace to become the kind of program that you're trying to build here. How much of a step back or regression?
Well, I mean, it's a one day. It depends on what we do, how we accept this and what we do from here and how are the things that go forward. We still have a chance to have a very good football team. Got to face down, lock in, and coach the heck out of them and get them to play real well. I mean, we still have a chance to have a really good team, and the programs are still there.